Welcome back to the channel. This is the Action Figure Grader, and today's video is going to cover the vintage collection. It's Thursday, and I try to pick out every Thursday recent sales for the vintage collection, and we're mainly focused today on TVC 1.0, maybe some of those names that we haven't talked about recently, just to give you an idea of some recent prices in case you're looking to fill in any holes in your collection. We've got some modern recent releases as well. Also a few graded items, but nothing too crazy in this batch. I didn't see much that has sold over the last week beyond mainly some TVC 1.0 that I haven't talked about in a while. I also need to say thank you to Keith Guppy. He is Mando number 5 on YouTube. He's got his own YouTube channel. Keith sent me a super for a video last week, so thank you, Keith. I hope you're doing well, buddy. Really appreciate the channel support. Make sure to go check out Mando number 5 on YouTube. If you're not a subscriber, go ahead and subscribe. He's got one of the greatest collections of Star Wars action figures that I've ever seen. So thank you again, Keith. All right, so let's take a look at some recent sales. We've got another Anakin Skywalker name pill foil example that sold by Power Droid. This is his second or his third one that has sold, 150 bucks, kind of right in line with all the other sales we've seen here recently. And there was also a Darth Vader name pill standard release, offerless, but punched. So there it is right here, so you can take a look at it. So no paperwork, offerless, and the Darth Vader name pill. That one sold for $165. $165 on that one. Unpunched, that one is very expensive. I haven't seen a recent sale, or if I have, I've already forgotten because I'm getting old and I can't remember everything. But I feel like the last unpunched Darth Vader VC13 that I've seen sell on eBay was around $400, somewhere in that ballpark. My gut says if you see one pop up at auction, it'll go for less than that. It just feels that way with pretty much everything in the vintage collection, that prices are down from the highs. I don't think I'm saying anything that you guys don't already know, but I just think that for a lot of this stuff, prices have come back down to earth a lot and bid accordingly for any auctions that you see. This special action figure set, this is the Imperial Forces Target exclusive 3-pack with Bosk IG-88 and the Hoth Stormtrooper. This one sold for $150. That's a pretty solid price for a punched example, and it was not perfect. It had some light dings here and there, but that was a very solid price. And then here is the 3-pack of the 3-packs. This is the special action figure Target exclusive triple 3-pack with the Hoth Rebels, Bespin Alliance, and then the Imperial Forces set. And this one did have some yellowing to the blister, which is not that surprising, right? Because where are you going to store this safely? It's really tough to put this in an area where it's not going to get beat up and where it's not going to maybe yellow over time. It seems like the vintage collection, you guys tell me in the comments below while you're leaving me a like, they don't yellow that easily. I mean, I know some of the Saga collection, like the Biker Scout and some of those, they can yellow, but it's not often that you see vintage collection that has yellowed. But I assume that anything can yellow with enough heat and, moisture. I don't know. There's all kinds of factors that can make this thing yellow, even though it doesn't have the same kind of fire retardant that was in a lot of the Return of the Jedi vintage Kenner mint-on cards that caused it to yellow. I think this yellowing is really due to storage error. User error. You got to store them in a dry, safe, sunlight-less environment. And, a dungeon, like in Pulp Fiction with the Gimp, put it in a dark dungeon and keep it from yellowing. But maybe these things yellow either way. I don't know. You guys can comment in the comment section. But this one was obviously pretty beat up, as most of these are, just given the size of them. That one sold for $170. $170. Kit Fisto is one we haven't talked about in a while. This card was not perfect, so keep that in mind as you're looking at that very low sales price. You can see a lot of edge wear, and it looks like it's got some card wave going on, things like that. So by no means perfect, but perfectly acceptable if you're not into, super high grade stuff and you don't care about that and you want to pay a little bit less for it. But this one was an unpunched US card and sold for $95. $95. So I would expect a really clean super mint example that's unpunched would probably be in the ballpark of 150 in today's market. You know, these were as high as like about $200, but they've come back down just like everything else. Here's an unpunched Jango Fett. This one was at auction and sold for $86. So that one has really fallen off a lot from where we've seen this one sell for even a couple of months ago, like 150, 175. And it seems like now $100 or less will get you VC34 Jango Fett. We had a Super Battle Droid that sold. This is another one that's pretty much held its value and hasn't really dropped that much. It's a great looking card, great looking figure. Everything about it's a nice combination. This one was offerless with unpunched and on the US card, VC37. And very, pretty clean. It wasn't perfect. It looks like it had some very minor edge wear on the left-hand side on the back of the card there. But, I haven't seen a VC37 Super Battle Droid sell recently, so I wanted to include this one in kind of today's video. So 110 was the sales price on that one, and a buy it now. Here was a loose VC64 Princess Leia in her slave outfit. So not often that I cover loose complete figures from the vintage collection, but I had to cover this one just because, even outside of the packaging, it remains a very expensive figure at $110. $110 in a buy it now situation. Another oddball sold right in line with recent sales at $100. Nothing new there and nothing particularly shocking. That one did have the Darth Maul offer and was unpunched. Shea Vizsla. This one was a punched example. You can see there punched. This was the US card, VC101. And, there are some heavy rumors out there that we're starting to get into some of these characters from the Old Republic. And I don't know if this is true, okay? So before you go crazy in the comments, I did read that supposedly they are doing a Darth Revan kind of story, old, Knights of the Old Republic type thing, and they're turning Darth Revan female. And Brie Larson is supposedly been selected to act as Darth Revan. So I don't know if it's true or not. It wouldn't surprise me, just given Disney's track record, that they would do something like that. I really hope it's fake and that they go with what everyone wants, and that's Keanu Reeves. Keanu Reeves needs to be in Star Wars in some form or fashion, and him as Darth Revan would be perfect, in my opinion. Will it happen? I don't know. Will they change a he to a she and make Brie Larson Darth Revan? That's the latest rumor that I saw last week, and it was from a website that usually has pretty good data. So take that for what you will. We'll see if that ends up happening. But anyway, this Shea Vizsla, again, punched US card sold for $80. We had another Darth Vader Emperor's Wrath VC115 unpunched US card. That one also sold from Power Droid for $150. That's also another sale. That's the second one I think that he's sold here recently. This was an interesting one. This is Jocasta Nu, the Brian's Toys exclusive. And this one included the proof card that was AFA graded. It was an AFA 9.0 proof card, Brian's Toys exclusive. And then it obviously included the actual figure with the original Brian's Toys box, the Velcro box that opens up. It was listed for $250. The best offer accepted on it was $200. So not a bad deal, really, given that you're getting the Jocasta Nu and an AFA graded proof card for basically what they typically go for ungraded. Usually that set is anywhere from $175 to $225. So $200 for a graded proof card plus the figure is not a bad deal at all. Box sets, we've got the Boba Fett's throne room, and this one is opened. I just wanted to at least give you another data point, whether it's opened or unopened. This one was unused contents, but this one's kind of right in line with recent sales, even at auction at $160 if you're still looking for that. This was not a bad deal at all. This was the new Jabba the Hutt action playset, factory sealed, and it also included the wave with the two Ahsoka figures, Ezra Bridger, and then that robot, and then it looks like Pre Vizsla. Is that who that is? Yeah, Pre Vizsla. So you get 3 recent releases plus the Jabba the Hutt action playset for $156. And again, I found several data points for the Jabba the Hutt playset around $160. So that was a pretty good deal. You're basically getting those 3 figures for free. 3 different data points for the new 2-pack with Sabine Wren and Chopper. This seller had 2 of them for $88 plus shipping. So after shipping, let's call that about 95 bucks. This seller had two available at $100. Both of those did sell. Those were free shipping. And then this seller did sell one at $125 plus $6 shipping. So don't pay that much. He only sold one of the two. The other ones did sell. So it seems like the going rate these days is around 100 bucks on eBay for that 2-pack. Some graded items before we wrap things up. We have a CAS 80 Plus VC54 ARC Trooper Commander on the Expanded Universe card. This was an unpunched US card, sold for 100 bucks. I think I had that one in my What to Buy video last week. We had an AFA 9.0 Return of the Jedi TIE Fighter palette. Now this one was punched, and this one was the reissue, the 2021 reissue. So I was a little surprised that one sold at $128. That's kind of more in keeping with the original issue, either Return or Revenge. Obviously, the Revenge unpunched offer list that came in the SDCC Death Star box set would be the most expensive, but it just makes me wonder if someone maybe got this one mixed up with the original issue, because that one did sell at $128. We also had Cassian Andor. This one sold, it was an AFA 9.0 gold level. That one sold for $110. And then finally, we had a beautiful Count Dooku, AFA 9.25 for $188. So for a recent release, I've seen 2 or 3 data points now between 8.5, 9, 9.25, and the prices were very strong. I can understand why. It is a really hot figure with a beautiful card back. But that is really it. Not a ton of sales this week, but I did want to put together some recent sales for the vintage collection because I know you guys are out there still hunting to fill in your collection. Thank you, as always, for watching, and I'll be back soon.